Hello, welcome to the start of week 4 of my 30 days of yoga challenge, so day 22. This week I thought we would work through the chakras. So these are the energy centers, if you're not familiar. Energy centers within the body, of which there are 7 main ones. There are actually lots of other ones as well, but 7 main chakras that people will refer to. And actually this here, this was actually bought for me by one of my lovely students, and I absolutely love it as a depiction of the chakras. So we're going to start, so these are your 7 chakras. Each kind of symbol relates to the 7 main ones, and actually this is the positioning. The root chakra we're going to look at today. I don't know if you can see, it's the red one. So the root chakra is where we'll begin. This is believed to be around the area of the tailbone, so the base of the spine. And if you're going to journey through the chakras, you want to start kind of working with balancing the root chakra first of all, because this is the chakra, the energy center upon which all the chakras will build. So if you've got this one strong, open, balanced, then you're in a much better position to kind of build upon, layer upon that with the other energy centers, chakras. So Muladhara, so the Sanskrit name for root chakra is Muladhara, and this, in a nutshell, this is a huge topic. I have books on chakras, whole books devoted to chakras, and I actually, if you are interested in it and you're interested to know more than what I have time to explain in these short videos, I do have on my website, I've written articles talking about the chakras. I think I call it Journey Through the Chakras, and on each there's an article on each one, so you can always look over on my website and have a read through if it's something that interests you. On a physical level, we're thinking about a grounding practice. This is your this is your foundation, this is stability, this is your physical connection to the earth. So like the roots of a tree. So if you think of a tree, how it's got, it's got obviously the trunk of the tree, the branches, the leaves, but the root chakra equivalent of the tree will be its roots. That's its foundation, its connection. That's what keeps it secure and enables it to weather the storms, that it has that strong foundational connection. So that's what we're thinking about today in our practice. Obviously just a brief look at them, but that's what the postures I've included today will be to balance, to open, to activate your root chakra. So we're going to fold forward, so sit in a comfortable cross-legged-ish position. You're just going to actually, let me think, I'm going to take this one down. If you have your left leg in front or under, if you prefer to come under, or half lotus, you're going to take your hands to the floor and you're going to fold forwards. So you might go, let me come back a little, sorry, I can see I'm a little bit off the screen. You might stop here, this might be as far as you go. If you can go a little deeper, maybe you're coming onto the forearms. If you can go deeper still, then do. You can come all the way kind of laying flat into the posture. So let's just take a couple of breaths here. So the reason I wanted this leg in front is that you should imagine be feeling quite a nice stretch into that kind of outer hip, into the glutes. So from whichever position you're in, we're just going to relax into it, take a couple of breaths. So reinforcing that connection with the earth, and then we're going to walk our hands around. So I'm going to give you an equivalent. If this feels too strong to walk around and to soften, you've got the option to come into a seated side bend. Okay, so this is your alternative. Otherwise, you might be on the forearms, on the hands, or you might go a little deeper. Be aware of that beautiful stretch, that beautiful release into the hip there. Opening up the side body, connection to the earth. Okay, And then walking yourselves back to center. Just pause a moment. And coming slowly up to sitting up. Okay, exactly the same to the other side. So we'll change the cross of the leg, just so you feel it a little bit more into the other hip. Folding forward, so again, come to your deepest, most comfortable position. Feel that stretch across the outer hip of the leg that's in front. And then we're just going to walk ourselves to the other side. So one hand next to the other, or you're coming into that seated side bend if that feels better for you. Softening into the pose, so just as deep as is comfortable. Beautiful stretch into the outer hip, into the glutes. Any kind of postures that reinforce your connection, that sense of earth connectedness. It might be that there's more of your body connected with the mat. It might be strong postures through the legs, obviously your legs being your connection to the earth, your feet. So stability, grounding, foundation. Okay, coming back to center. Again, just pausing for a moment. And then up. Slowly. To sitting up. You're going to come, actually we'll come onto the heels. So you can stay facing forwards. But I'm going to come sideways so it's kind of clear what I'm doing. I'm sitting onto my heels. I know, well hopefully this is okay for everybody. I remember when I used to do this in my yin yoga class. It wasn't always a favourite, but this is this is a nice stretch for the ankles, and just do what you can with it. So you're going to take the hands behind. I think you can see my feet, yeah, just about. We're coming. I can't see that clearly what was going on. Yeah, my feet there. Yes. So I'm going to come back. You don't have to stay for ages. I quite like the feeling, so I'm just going to take a few breaths. But if it's excruciating or you get cramp or something, just maybe come into a seated fish, so you're sitting onto your bottom and opening up. Okay. Otherwise, this is such a nice way to stretch the front of the leg, so you've got that stretch into the shin, and also you're working with the flexibility around the ankle, and then thinking of your feet as that connection to the earth. Okay, it's not often that we're stretching our ankles in this way, so it's really, really good for getting into that. And actually, while we're here, another posture that's not always a favourite, but really nice for opening up the soles of the feet. Come onto the toes. Again, if it causes any discomfort to do it, don't worry about it. Just stay in your seated fish. You can just kind of come up, so your toes are bent under here. You're stretching the soles of the feet. And just take a couple of moments here, okay? It's healthy for the toes, but obviously not if you've got any issues with your toes. I like the feeling of this, but I do remember in class a few complaints. So you're not alone if it doesn't feel good to you, okay? It might just be that it's so tight that it actually is really good for you. Okay, and then we'll move forward. So we're going to come onto all fours to Kakravakasana. So you're going to take the hand slightly further forward, and we're just going to shift the shoulders so they're over the wrists. So breathing in here, and then as you breathe out, you're pressing back. So the hands stay in the same place, the bottom towards the heels, getting a little bit more stretch through the shoulders, across the chest. And we'll do this a couple more times. Beautiful shoulder release. Breathing in, and again connected through the hands, through the knees, tops of the toes, lower legs. Exhale, pressing back. Breathing in, shifting the weight forward, so just so the shoulders are over the wrists. Exhale. And pressing back. And then from here we're going to tuck the toes and we're going to lift ourselves up into downward facing dog. Again, nice strong connection through the hands, through the feet. So just a little bit more awareness of the parts of the body that are touching the mat, so thus the earth, in the different poses. So strong hands and feet connection here, shoulders away from the ears with that draw down to the earth through the inversion. Breathing, lifting up through the bottom and the hips. And then we're going to bring the feet to the hands. So you can take a little spring or a step into Uttanasana. So your hands might be to the floor, you might be holding the low legs. If you want to deepen it a little, maybe think about taking the hands, if you're already obviously hands to the floor, think about taking the hands to the sides of the feet. You're going to get in a little bit deeper, straightening the legs if you can. If this is way too strong, do not worry. Just hold the insides of the elbows or around the back of the legs. Absolutely fine. Okay. Little rock forwards into the toes, into the heels. Release the hands. Let's just take one foot behind the other. So you're just crossing at the ankles. You'll just deepen that stretch up the back of the legs, so into the hamstrings. Beautiful stretch. Maybe your hands might be to the low legs or just holding the elbows. Okay, side by side again, and then one foot behind the other. Really stretching deeply into the legs here. Again, you can play with that weight into the toes. I actually think it feels, no, it actually just feels better this side. You might find that in a lot of the poses, one side feels better than the other. It felt really intense on the other leg. Yeah, actually sitting into the heels feels a bit stronger than into the toes. Okay, and then we'll just take the feet side by side, and then we'll take the hands to the hips and come slowly up to standing. So you've always got that roll up option or a nice flat back to standing. Okay, so we're going to come into Tadasana for a moment. So this is our mountain pose. You just got your feet comfortable distance apart, and you come back a little bit, feet comfortable distance apart. Just standing up nice and tall. So you're thinking about drawing up through the crown of the head, let the shoulders relax, arms just by the sides, and just be aware. This is a lovely way to really kind of have that sense of your root connection. So think about your feet. Think about a connection to the earth through the feet. You can kind of roll backwards and forwards or to the side. Okay. Find that center. Okay. Close your eyes, keep the eyes open, your choice. Find that neutral position. Okay. And then feel like you're putting roots down through the feet, through the soles of the feet. Okay, this is your stability, this is your foundation. So we're just deepening the foundation, the connection to the earth. Okay, and then we're going to move into tree pose. So this is a really nice one to do before tree pose, or any balance really. We're going to shift the weight into the left foot, and then you're going to take the other foot into place. So you might keep it low, below the knee, above the knee, or half lotus. Okay, now come to half lotus today. So your choice of where you want to go. Hips are level, toes are soft, so lift, spread the toes and take them back down again. And then your choice of hand placement. So maybe up overhead, maybe you keep them in prayer at the heart center. Find your drishti, so your kind of gaze point, focal point. And breathe. Okay, so just use that drishti. Strong, draw up tall, sometimes that can actually help. Settle into the pose, into the body, and just follow the breath, so breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, good. Then if your arms are overhead, then you're going to bring the hands down. You're going to release the leg, release the foot, give the legs a little bit of a shake. And do exactly the same to the other side. So taking the weight onto the right foot. So I get my feet round the right way, I can't remember. The other foot, whichever one you didn't do. Get your other foot into position. So it doesn't have to be half lotus. I'm just going to do it for kind of equal sides here now. Hips are level, so checking in with those hips. and then hands either in prayer or overhead or hands to the hips, so whichever feels more comfortable. Soften those toes, especially if you notice that you're gripping in a balance. Remember, you're at home, this is your practice. If you come out of the balance, it's not a problem. You just come back into it again, okay? Some days you're gonna feel a lot more balanced than others. It's exactly the same for me when I'm teaching. Some days I'm all over the place, and it's fine. And some days I'm very, very focused and very balanced. It's just one of those things. Most important thing is just to keep coming back to your practice and keep practicing. Okay, breathing. And then if your hands are overhead, bringing the hands down to prayer at the center, heart center, release the legs, give the legs a little bit of a shake, and then we're going to come into or down through Malasana. This is another beautiful, yes, for our purposes, root chakra pose, drawing us down to the earth. So feet facing out, heels are in, knees tracking over toes. I sort of hesitated there saying it was root chakra pose because you'll find, so you're just sitting onto the heels or maybe the toes, you'll find that there's crossovers with lots of the postures, so they can be good for this chakra, that chakra. It's kind of how you approach the pose and what you, for our purposes in root chakra, we want to engage Mula Bandha, so this is your root lock. So you want to draw up through the perineal area, so keep that energy in the body. You can feel that draw down to the earth, but because it's a strong hip open, it's also a sacral chakra pose, so it's good for the second chakra as well. But we'll just focus on our root chakra today, so your root lock is on. Okay, and then we're just going to come down, bottom down. We'll come into Vista. So again, it's a strong hip opener, so good for the second chakra as well. But in terms of our connection to the earth, the whole of the back of the legs are connecting with the earth, and we're kind of going deeper into the pose to kind of get a little closer as well. So feet facing up, just so they're not kind of flopping this way, that way. No overstretching the inside of the leg. So if you feel any kind of pinching here, bring them in a little. Just hands to rest, and come to your deepest position. So you might come onto the forearms, you might stay on your hands, you might go a little deeper. You can, if you want to deepen it a bit, is to take hold of the toes. It's quite strong because then you've got weight, your upper body weight is getting you deeper into the pose. But if you want to advance it, progress it, you're taking hold, index fingers around, or yogi toe lock, first two fingers around the toes, and just letting gravity get you deeper into the pose. But be mindful not to overstretch with that one. So you just, if you're feeling it, otherwise, just a few breaths here. A strong stretch, inner leg lines, anything that's kind of activating the legs, working on that sense of earth connectedness, restoring balance to the root chakra, the Muladhara. Okay, and then we're just going to slowly ease ourselves to sitting up, and we'll just help those legs in. Okay, you can be quite strong sitting in that position. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you could feel the benefit, and I think you'll really feel the benefit moving through the chakras as we go through the week. So it's really nice to kind of to work with one and then kind of layer up. So it should be it should be a good week, and hopefully by the end of it, you've worked through all the energy centers. You're going to be feeling nice and open, nice and balanced. Okay, so we'll just let's bring our hands together into the lap, or you can take Yan Mudra. Actually, let's take Yan Mudra. Thumb, first finger to touch. Relax the shoulders. Take a couple of breaths. Just be aware of that connection through the sit bones, so through the sit bones, the feet, maybe the back of the legs a little, back of the thighs. Nice and grounded. Strong, stable, rooted, grounded, all these words to describe working with and opening, balancing the root chakra. So the colour red relates to this energy centre. Okay, and then we just bring the hands together in prayer at the heart center, and I'm gonna thank you again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on the mat again tomorrow. Namaste.